everyone, it is Tuesday night, and that means everything and anything is up for discussion here on Pararock TV. I'm your host, Jeff Sylvia. Shannon is here. Hello, Shannon.
Shannon's here, yay!
Hey. What's up, kid?
Not much. I think my hair's too high.
Your hair's a little too high. Yeah. That's all right. We're going to have to shrink you. Just shrink down a little bit. There you go. I love the green screen. That's how you guys know it's a live show, because we always have a little here and there for you. Right, kid?
Sorry.
Yeah. We have a lot to talk about tonight, guys. This could possibly be our very last show ever on Pararock TV, Shannon, because of the impending doom that is the end of the world coming up this Friday.
Friday, end of the world, December 21st, according to the Mayan calendar.
And coincidentally, your birthday, honey. Yeah.
Yes.
A very early happy birthday to Shannon Sylvia, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And you're going to be 30 once again. 29 again, right? Is that how it goes?
Hey, I'm not 40, so you know what? I don't care how old I am. On Friday, I'm not 40, I'm not 50.
You're not 40,
we'll just leave it at
50.
that.
And looking fine.
I'm not 39 either, so don't go getting any ideas. Still in my 30s. It's all good. It's going to be a good day, guys. Nothing's going to end. I'm really, really, really tired of the rumor crap, and the Mayans did not take into consideration anything to do with leap year, so they were kind of a bunch of dumbasses a little bit.
And, you know, the Mayans didn't invent the internet either. Al Gore did. He doesn't think it's the end of the world, Shan. So what can you do? Lots to celebrate this week, guys. Of course, we are going to be off for the next 2 weeks. So this is our grand finale, if you will, of 2012. Next week is, of course, Christmas, followed by New Year's. So not only do we have the end of the world and your birthday this week to celebrate, honey, it's been a huge week in your life, and I can say that I am most proud of you. You are now an official published author by Schiffer. Very cool.
I have proof.
Very cool. Paranormal Unwrapped. Tell them all about it.
This is the proof, guys. It's right here in my hands. I actually got the first advanced copy of my book, Paranormal Unwrapped. And it's lovely. I got to say, I'm very, very happy. The publisher sent me the book with a bottle of wine, organic wine, finally. So I do have the very first copy, guys. That means that the book is now in print and being shipped to bookstores around the country. They will be available at any bookstore, but if you want a signed autograph copy at no extra cost, go to pararockproductions.com in order to get your copy. And again, it's at no extra cost. It will be mailed to your door for a couple of bucks, and it's amazing. I have not read the book yet in its entirety, and it really disturbed Katie Boyd so much when I was writing it, because she kept saying, "Well, haven't you read anything I've written, and have you read the book yet?" And I'm like, "No, because I want to read the book when it comes out." And so we've got it here, guys. It's a big day. We are cool. Probably going to be working on number 2.
I am so proud of you. I mean, you bake. You're the Shannon Shane Cakes. You are the Pararock, and now you are a soon-to-be accomplished best-selling author for a major publishing company.
It's good to put positive vibes out there. You're very, very positive, just like watching the movie The Secret. Yeah. If you think it, it'll happen. So there you go. I'm excited. I never thought in a million years. And by the way, I did design the cover. Mm-hmm. Those are my graphics. Yay! And they used it. So
very cool.
It was just awesome. I mean, anything Katie Boyd does is amazing. She's so talented and so knowledgeable, and I'm just very proud. So
once again, guys, available now at pararockproductions.com. Get your signed copy while they're available. Shannon will personally sign a copy and ship it out to you.
Actually, Katie and I are going to be getting together soon. We're actually going to be signing all copies. So there's a chance that both of the authors' signatures will be on the book for the price of $16.99 plus shipping. So
awesome.
All good.
Awesome. And you have something else to promote, Shan?
I do. I want to talk to you guys. Okay. I'm doing this for my friend Julia because she came to the bakery today, and Julia has a new gig. Julia owns the most beautiful massage parlor in town. A legit one, guys. Very nice place. It's called Bliss Therapy. And I've been doing some promotional materials for her, some business cards and postcards for her for Insta Therapy. For those of you in the chat, go ahead and say hi to Julia. And she came by with this product today. This is the actual product that I've been putting on these postcards and business cards, and she gave me one. It's a gel pack. You can take this anywhere you go. You can travel with it. It's really kind of like your typical gel pack until you do this one very simple thing. Now, the beauty of this thing is that this isn't like one of those things where it's just one time you push something, it activates, and then it wears out, and then you got to throw it away. You do not have to microwave this. You do not have to freeze this. In fact, you cannot microwave or freeze this. All you do with this little amazing product, there's a little button in here. Now, Jeff, I hope you can see this.
I can see it. Just keep it right in front of you. Don't go off to the side at all.
All right. You push the button, like I'm pushing it now. Do you hear that click?
I heard the click.
Guys, I don't know if you can see this.
Oh, yeah. We have a...
Do you see what's happening to it?
Do you guys emulsion going on?
Do you guys see the cloudiness that's happening to the pack?
That's exciting.
This pack is now getting hot. Yeah, I got it, Julie.
Yeah, there we go.
This pack is getting hotter by the second, up to 130 degrees, and will stay hot for 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
It is the coolest thing.
That is pretty cool.
And all you do after an hour when it starts to cool off, in order to get it to do this again, you just boil it for a couple minutes so that it can get back to its liquid form like it is now and just on this end. And then you let it cool off, and then you can take it with you anywhere. This little button will click 100 times. You can use this pack. There's no batteries. There's no weird chemicals. There's nothing else.
So let me get that straight. It starts off in a non-liquid form, and then you
It's
bring
a
it
gel.
into a liquid form, and then you click the button,
Yeah.
and it just gets
Feel
hot
it, Jeff.
like that. Let's see. Let's check it out. Wow, it is hot.
It's hot.
It's very hot. It's kind of freaky.
It's awesome. And
It
you
is
guys can
awesome.
bring these to event games.
yeah.
I just had to talk about this tonight because I'm
Little
so
sore shoulder.
excited about this product.
Thanks, Julia. A little sore shoulder. That's
They're
going real
amazing.
well.
They're way better than those stinky bead bags that you can microwave or put in your freezer. They pick up the scent of your freezer.
Can you
they're
shut
only-
it off before it burns the house down? Or?
No, there's nothing. It won't burn the house down.
So I can put it down right there?
Just put it down.
Okay.
They're only $20, guys. I am going to
Wow.
post the link.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested in getting these or telling your friends about it as a gift idea for Christmas coming up, we can ship those. It's www.insta-therapy.com.
All right.
And it's very, very easy to find these. I'm not getting a commission or anything. I'm just very excited about this product. I have my own. I did buy one today for a gift, and I think they work awesome. So
That's awesome. Very
yeah,
cool.
something new. I just had to throw it out there.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. All right, guys, you are watching Up for Discussion here live on PTV. And lots of great stuff going on here at the network. We've got, of course, The Ville TV, which is now on Sundays here. I believe it's at 8 o'clock. Is that right, Sean? I believe it's 8 o'clock on Sundays. I'm sorry, 6 o'clock on Sundays. Every Sunday at 6. Ville TV, the best of Louisville, Kentucky, brought to you by Sean and Kat. And I'll tell you, Louisville, Kentucky has always reminded me of a little mini Hollywood. There is a ton of talent there. I've traveled in Louisville. I've lived in Louisville. And I even say Louisville correctly, Shannon, which is taking some time. Yeah, got to sound like you got a little marbles in your mouth. Louisville, that's all.
Louisville.
Keith H. taught me how to do that. So thank you to Keith. But no, a ton of talent there down in Louisville, Kentucky. Great bands, great artists, great pop culture. And you can catch it all right here, 6 o'clock every Sunday with Sean and Kat. The Newlyweds are hosting the hottest show here on Para Rock TV. And good luck to them. They busted out of the gate a couple weeks ago, doing very, very well. And yeah, you don't want to miss that one for sure. Coming up, January 3rd. Gail Scott Key, you may remember her from joining us on our show from time to time, is bringing you Entertainment Now. Going to be a great show. She already has some amazing guests lined up. And Shannon, you know Gail brings the A-listers, at least as close as we're going to get to our network. She's brought Ian Cusack. She's brought Will Smith's brother, cousin Derek Hammond. All kinds of great folks. Larry B. Scott from Revenge of the Nerds. She's got them all, and they're all going to be here with us, joining Gail on Entertainment Now. That's going to be Thursdays at 8, right before the return of Shantown. Right, Shan?
Very, very, very exciting news.
All right. Yeah, the return of Shantown, yeah.
I've got about 86,000 videos all piled up, ready to go. So
that's awesome. So Shantown is going to come back next year on Thursdays, 9 o'clock, right?
9 p.m.
That was a question. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was reading. I have to go back to the gel pad that I'm all excited about. It works because it's a reaction with the metal disc and the sodium acetate solution. It's magic.
Okay. We're going to give you your own infomercial pretty soon.
I just love it.
Jesus.
Are you using it?
We're going to turn the show over to Shannon now. She's going to give us Shannon's favorite products of 2012 for the next hour and a half, ladies and gentlemen.
I love popping that button and watching the thing get all hard.
Well, that's why I married you. You're kind of a keeper that way.
Yeah.
All right, guys, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can get the Android app and now the iPhone app available for you for your handheld mobile devices. Take us anywhere and, have some fun with us. Shannon's having fun in her own little happy place. It's fun when you entertain yourself, isn't it, Shannon, Sylvia?
I like fun products.
You like fun products. I know you do. You want to tell them about the fun products from the Yankee Swap this past weekend?
Oh, my God. So Jeff and I ended up with the 2 gifts that we bought for a Yankee Swap as the gifts that we ended up
trading for. Tell them the logic
for.
behind the shopping. I mean, we're out shopping. And
Are we really going to get into details?
Sure, of course we are. Now, I just wish I would have brought it upstairs because, of course, I'm not a
Go
shopper.
get it.
I'm not a shopper. And I panic when shopping unless I have a very articulate plan going in. I'm like a surgeon. I go in, I exercise my plan, and I get the hell out. And I really didn't know what I was going to do for this $20 Yankee Swap. I ended up getting a music box. That's
silver. Not what you end up buying, though.
What I immediately bought was a silver frame that said Friends on it, and it was engravable. And you could have brought it back to the place and had it engraved with your favorite friend photo. Instead, when they opened the box, much to my surprise, was an upgrade.
Beautiful.
In that box. A beautiful sterling silver music box.
Looks like a treasure chest with diamonds all over it.
So that was my theory going in. I wanted to get something that was, for male or female, something that anybody could use. And Shannon, tell them what you did.
Well, I decided to go for something fun, and we had a couple lesbians at the party, so I didn't know if we should just, everybody goes for like the hot chocolate gift baskets or booze or scratch tickets, so I decided to get something different. So I hit up Spencer's and bought a purple vibrator and a variety pack of lubes. Some nipple cream, some clit cream, some vaginal tightening cream. Oh, yes, I purchased all of these. So I wrapped them up in a really nice gift bag with a ribbon. So it was totally classy. Nobody had a clue. And nobody wanted the gift. I was number 11 out of 12, and absolutely everybody was trading that gift around. Jeff ended up with it.
I ended up with the fucking thing.
I ended up with the jewelry box, which, by the way, was the number 1 present everybody was fighting over. But because my number was 11, I got to trade for it. So I got this beautiful jewelry box. We're going to take the receipt and bring the vibrator and anal lube back to Spencer's and get our money back.
And if you ever do that to me again, as soon as you get to the front of the checkout line, you're going to hear this voice from the other side of the store saying, "Aren't you Shannon Sylvia from Ghost Hunters International?" I swear to God. Hand to God. Don't ever do that to me again.
Yeah,
I got stuck.
It was a little embarrassing.
And the lube, and Shannon got the top gift of the night.
Oh yeah, and I just gotta say, like at this Yankee Swap, every single gift was classy. It was all like Lennox china and a couple scratch tickets and some booze, and I was the ass hat of the night buying the joke gag gift. But at least we can get our money back, and we can still contribute it to the Yankee Swap.
Even as drunk as we got, I don't think we really seriously anticipated keeping any of this stuff. As much as some of those in the chat room are trying to put us into that realm, that's not us.
No,
that's not us.
No, it's still in the package. We're not going to keep it because you know what? My theory is on sex toys that if Jeff and I were to die in a car accident, it's probably my mother that's going to have to clean out my bedroom. So I do not store anything in my bedroom besides the Ouija board that my mother would be afraid to find. So that's how it goes.
There you go. Very, very good. Okay, guys, we want to say hello to everyone at the DLF Foundation of Music. DLFmusic.com is where you find those artists supporting transcendental meditation in our youth.
Yeah, they were on Good Morning America, Jeff.
They were.
This week.
Yes, they were. And who that was Bob Ross,
It was Bob Ross. I know, everyone's going to laugh, but the representative was Bob Ross, sitting beside Jerry Seinfeld, who admitted that for 40 years he's practiced transcendental meditation. And if you guys don't believe me, you can Google this. The American Heart Association has recently, 1 month ago, put out an official finding that transcendental meditation does help heart health. It does make a difference in people with heart disease. Jeff.
Yes, and starting next year, we are going to be doing a segment on health and wellness. We are going to have Kai Royce join us again, and we're going to go right through a great deal of detail, especially with how it's hit home with many of us here with heart conditions. And wouldn't be a bad idea to have our buddy Jason Rothberg come back on and maybe talk to us a little bit about transcendental meditation and how it helps heart patients like myself. And yeah, definitely, Dave. Want to definitely say hi to Rick first of all. Rick, she doesn't have the hat on because the hat has green in it, buddy, and we do green screen here. So she tried the hat, and there were some holes.
I'm so sorry. Rick Curley got me the coolest Coca-Cola hat this week, and awesome. I absolutely love it, but it does have green in it. So unfortunately, we can't wear it on the air. But I did take a picture of it and post it on Facebook with a kind thank you to Rick. So yes. I think Rick saved up 1.4 billion Coca-Cola points.
I think he drinks a lot of Coke. I think he's a bigger Coke addict than you were. Intervention, Shan.
Rick, don't drink so much Coca-Cola. It's just not good for you. And if you are drinking it, I hope to God it's diet and you supplement that with plenty of water. But don't drink all that soda.
Yeah, and Dave says between the heat pack and all those lubes, my shoulder will be feeling better in no time. Thank you, yes. Dave. Much appreciated. Yes, indeed. Hello to everyone at the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. The Boys and Girls Clubs are indeed the positive place for kids. And don't forget, guys, to check us out on YouTube. You can search Pararock on YouTube and get all of our shows in their entirety, which is pretty cool. You can, if you miss them, you can pass them over to a friend and do tell others about us. If you like what you see, we'd love others to enjoy it too. And we would not be remiss here, Shannon, if we did not include in this broadcast a moment of silence in memory of those that have passed this past week in the tragic events in Newtown, Connecticut. And everyone knows exactly what we're talking about with the school. We're going to take a moment of silence right now to remember those people. And once again, a moment of silence for those victims in Newtown, Connecticut, of course, where a gunman opened fire this past Friday. He cut short 26 lives. 6 women who worked at the Sandy Hook Elementary School were killed, in addition to 20 students, 12 girls and 8 boys, according to state police. And
teachers.
I think I speak for all of us. The country is definitely still in mourning, and some incredible stories coming out from this tragedy. Rachel Diavino, who was 29 years old, she likely didn't know it when she died, but her best friend was about to propose to her. He had recently asked Rachel's parents for permission, and he was planning to ask for her hand in marriage on Christmas Eve. That and other details about Rachel's life were described in an obituary posted on the website of the Munson Lovetree Funeral Home in Connecticut. Her presence was tremendous. Her smile brightened any room she entered, it read. And again, that is Rachel Diavino, 29 years old. Never got the chance to be engaged to her love, who was planning it this Christmas Eve. Anne Marie Murphy, 52 years old, one of the first to be called a hero. And this is how one of the first responders described Murphy to her father. He told Newsday that authorities told him that the body was found in the classroom covering young children and killed in an apparent attempt to shield them. And here's a woman, 52 years old, public service, of course, being a teacher, threw herself over children as the gunman shot and died doing what she loved. She was serving children and serving God, Murphy's mother, Alice McGowan, told the newspaper. A married mother of 4, Murphy was artistic and hardworking. She was a happy soul. Her Her mother told Newsday she was a very good daughter, a great mother, and a great wife. Victoria Soto, 27, first grade teacher at the school, had moved her students away from the classroom door when she heard the gunfire, which students initially thought were hammers falling, according to the father of one of the students. That's when the gunman burst in, didn't say a word, no facial expressions, and he proceeded to shoot the teacher, said Robert Licata, whose 6-year-old son Aiden, escaped by running past the shooter. Soho's mother said that her daughter was selfless in the act. She would not hesitate to save anybody's life before her own, especially children. She loved children more than life, and she would definitely put herself in harm's way for them any day. She always wanted to be a teacher since she was 3 years old, and she talked about her students with such fondness and caring. Soto's cousin James Weitzel instinctively said she went into action when the monster came into her classroom, and her main goal was to protect the kids that she loved so much. Emily Parker, 6 years old. Many stories like this one, folks. She could light up a room. Robbie Parker described her as bright, creative, and very loving. Emily was always willing to try new things, except food. Of course, her laugh was infectious. Again, many stories like this coming out of Newtown, Connecticut, as a country mourns 26 fallen, beautiful people, children and teachers.
And I do want to add that little Noah Posner was 6 years old. He did leave behind a 6-year-old twin sister, Ariel. So when Noah left the world, he's got a little sister who was a twin left behind. And there were many siblings that are stranded without their younger brother or sister. Very sad.
Yeah, and the news stations are covering it, of course, in great detail. In my opinion, maybe too much detail, Shannon. I was a little disturbed to see them interviewing one of the children.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It really was. To me, it really just it didn't show any tact. It was just too soon. It was almost like, what are they doing? And this poor kid is trying to put sentences together in the middle of being traumatized. I don't think
they're
it
in
was a good
shock.
move. I really don't. I don't. Shannon, what do you think?
I think it's an absolute shame that the parents are exploiting their children that way. It should be a moment of privacy, a moment of healing. I think the general public already has enough details as to the horrors that happened that night. We don't need to hear it from a child's mouth.
Yeah, I agree.
We already know that it was probably, it is the worst hell that anybody can go through. And I don't think that by the child talking to a TV cameras, that's therapeutic in any means. And like I said, they're still in shock, and it's sad. I hope that the news has already stopped doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind hearing the positive stories from people, from the neighbors. There was a wonderful story about the man that took the 6 students in that found them at the end of his driveway, Jeff, and gave them toys and some snacks and fruit drinks until help arrived and their parents started to arrive to collect the kids. Apparently, they escaped the gunman somehow. I don't mind hearing stories about that, about the good side of it, but keep these kids out of it.
And not for nothing, say what you want about President Obama, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, whether you agree with his policies and views or you don't. I find it very admirable that he went to Newtown, Connecticut, and the speech that he gave was very much needed. I think that any commander-in-chief and leader of our country needs to be in the front of it. He needs to be the face of this. And his words, you could tell he was very shaken, but managed to hold things together to deliver a very important message to our country and how to move forward from this awful tragedy. And of course, out of these tragedies come many discussions, and a lot of them, Shannon, are focused around gun laws now, and that seems to be all the hype now. Everybody's talking about stricter gun laws, as they did in the Denver shootings, when we were talking about the shootings in the movie theater, and of course all the other tragedies. If you guys want to call in, by the way, I've got the call number up. It's 213-784-0884. We would welcome your opinions, and if you want to weigh in on any of this conversation, there's been a lot of great comments on our Facebook page from parents of students. I actually got a comment, Shannon, from a mother whose son was gunned down, and she weighed in on.
Oh, I
on the
have
gun
it
law
right here.
theory. Really, what does she say?
I got to, it's a great comment. Joan Hesco Switzer had said on your wall earlier, Jeff, as a mother of a son who was gunned down in 2010, afterwards his firearm collection was stolen and probably sold to criminals. All I can say with no hesitation that guns do kill when in the hands of insane criminals. I would like the NRA to explain to the parents of 20 innocent children why they and all Americans should support the Second Amendment. No automatic or assault weapons should be permitted whatsoever. They serve no purpose unless you're in the military or a police officer, yet that weapon was stolen and the individual responsible was never arrested or prosecuted. If a politician can explain this to me, I'm willing to listen.
Yeah.
And I have to say, there
Great
was
comment.
a brilliant comment from Teresa McMullen that was a follow-up. She says, what about the mothers who get abortions? What should we do with them? No different than what has happened, and so a lot more children not born into this world. Also, the abortion tools that take babies' innocent lives, would they be considered weapons as well? They don't shoot, but pull each limb and tear the baby apart. Let's take away Tylenol as well, and ibuprofen too, when people try to kill themselves. The list goes on as far as methods that people can kill other people.
Of course it does, and people are very they're full of emotion right now. The Godfather in our chat room says it has nothing to do with gun laws. It's a mental health issue. That's what needs to be changed, not gun control. And that is a good comment too. In light of everything that's happened here, when you talk about stricter gun control laws, there was something that I did put up on my Facebook page, which I thought was an excellent point. There is a big difference in the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms, protect your family, protect your privacy, protect yourself, in owning an automatic weapon. And folks in this show have heard me many times. I am an advocate of the right to bear arms. I think that Americans should never give that right up. However, when it comes to automatic weapons, you and I were having this discussion, Shannon, at dinner. I do not feel that automatic weapons have any place in a civilian's hands. I think they should be very much restricted to law enforcement and military only. Now, the argument to that, of course, is outlaws will get them anyway. The bad guys are going to get the guns regardless of what we do. But I think if you make it harder and more punishable and less obtainable in any facet to try to limit these weapons, these automatic weapons, it's sad to say, but if a psycho is going to do something, I'd rather have him with a 6-shooter in his hand than, a magazine that has potentially 40, 50, 60 bullets in it.
John Michael has a good point. He says automatic weapons are already banned. So obviously the ban's not working.
Well, I think it needs to be stricter. I think there needs to be stricter penalties for it and less obtainable. If somebody wants to obtain an automatic weapon nowadays, I think they can. Unfortunately, I think that we need to somehow limit manufacturing of these weapons and make it just a strict military and law enforcement manufacturing. Just like it's tough to buy a Patriot missile, because it's done in strict military code and strict military guidelines. I think that perhaps this country might look at doing something like that. And anything we can do, the bottom line, guys, is we have to protect our children as well as protect ourselves. And this argument can go on in many different directions, but it's a tough one because where do you draw the line? You want to have that protection. If a bad guy comes through the door in the middle of the night and you're there holding your wife and child, probably be a good idea to have a handgun at that time to protect your family. However, where does it stop, and how do you limit the bad guys from getting these automatic weapons and doing these heinous acts?
I want to throw this out there. Jeff, how do you feel about TV shows such as Sons of Anarchy, where basically the whole premise of the show is a bunch of motorcycle thugs buying and selling automatic assault rifles and semi-automatics and pistols? It's so accepted on television and in video games by society. Guns are everywhere. If I see a gun, I've only seen 1 or 2 in my life, real guns, and I'm in shock. I don't even like to be around them. But, it's very desensitizing to today's society, I think.
Well, Shannon, I think that where people have to realize it's television. The Wild Wild West has been around forever, with the shootouts in saloons and the pace-offs and all that, the quick draws and all that stuff. these movies have been around, these TV shows and productions have been around forever. People have to realize, and it's a great segue into our later discussion about reality TV. Stuff on TV, even if it's deemed to be reality TV, very, very seldom is real, and with very, very few exceptions, and we'll get into that later in the show, but that stuff is television, guys. It's not meant to be taken as fact or real life or literally, and I think.
Well, I think though I gotta disagree.
People may be a little more sensitive, I think, to a show line such as Sons of Anarchy when they're talking about gun running now because of this tragedy. But again, I do think that it's a separate issue. I really truly
you don't think for a minute these TV shows are telling youths out there and young adults it's okay if you have a disagreement with someone to pull out a gun and shoot them?
I honestly don't believe that that's the message of any TV show. I think that that's part of the entertainment value. You look at the WWE. They're not suggesting that you take your neighbor and pile drive him into the pavement, but some dumbass is going to try to do it anyway. Yeah. I mean, how do you want to regulate television to where it's all politically correct? Nobody's going to watch your shit anymore.
Well, there's just too much violence out there. Things have changed from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. All of a sudden, you had the 60s, and everybody was all about smoking pot and peace.
Well,
how did that happen?
And there you go. The Godfather has another good point. What about video games nowadays? You look at Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah.
They're video games.
They're rotten.
You're telling me that's not promoting violence?
Oh, no. I said it earlier. Video games are rotten. Bad. That's why I play The Sims, because the worst thing I can do to my Sims is be mean to them, but I can't kill them.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I have the willpower to either extinguish them if they catch on fire or not. But I hate violent games. Jeff, you and I know somebody. We're not going to call out names, but his child at like 3, 4, 5 years old was playing Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
And he may be a great kid. I just don't think that young children should be playing that game at all. That's my opinion.
Well, it's the whole world's going to hell, according to some people, and it starts with television, unfortunately. Again,
it's not educational. Give your kid, a young child, an educational game.
I don't think that you can take fiction, because you can put literacy. You can put books in the same category. I mean, how many books have been? Look at Stephen King, for God's sakes. I mean, brilliant writer, writes about some pretty gruesome shit. I mean, do you think that people are going to take his stuff literally? And what I should say that, but what was a movie where who's the lady that took the author in and broke his leg and is famous?
Kathy Bates.
Thank you, Kathy
Misery.
Bates. Misery, thank you. Unless you're Kathy Bates, you're probably not going to take.
But she had mental illness.
And
that was a classic
issue.
Example of
That's
an insane person causing somebody else misery.
And thank you, Little Big Time. Yes, it was misery indeed.
Misery.
All right, guys. A lot of great comments here on both sides of this issue. I think it's one that's going to be debated for a long, long time. It's just unfortunate when things like this come into play. It's obviously around the holidays. It's a very, very sensitive issue for everybody as we hold our loved ones close. And another great point was, how do we protect our schools now? I mean, are they going to be armed marshals at every school as they are on airplanes? I mean, what do we have to do to protect our children, I think, is going to be a major focal point moving forward, because there's just too many of these events that happen in schools now. And, you're talking about 6 and 7-year-old innocent children and their teachers and principals who died protecting them. There's just got to be a better way, folks. When we come back, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about eBay fraud and what people can do about it. You're watching Up for Discussion here on Para Rock TV. Stick around.
It's not acceptable to call me a nigger.
It's not acceptable to call me a spick.
To call me a chink.
To call me a fag.
It's not acceptable to call me a kike.
And it's not acceptable to call me a retard or call yourself or your friends retarded when they do something foolish.
The R word is the same as every minority slur. Treat it that way and don't use it.
Spread the word to end the word.
Shantown rocks. Shantown rocks. Shantown rocks.
Shantown rocks.
Shantown rocks. Shantown rocks.
Shantown rocks.
Catman. Shantown totally rocks. This is Carl Lawson. And Shantown rocks. Shantown rocks.
I'm Bill Murphy from the fact or fake paranormal file? You're watching Power Rock TV.
Oh, little Pip.
We have 200 of them.
That's all it. All right, guys. So one new kind of weird little segment that we're going to start introducing you to here at Up for Discussion is it's going to be called Only Me. We actually came up with this idea last week in New Orleans, where I always get the baddest, shittest of luck. Something weird is always happening to me every day. And one of the things that happened just the other day, I sell a lot on eBay. Through stuff that I acquire through businesses or things that I acquire or just regular household items. I sell a lot on eBay. I've got a 100% rating for over 917 transactions as of today. That's very hard to do. It also took about 12 years to get there. 100% rating means I have the best shipping and handling time, the best prices for shipping, the best customer service, the best product as advertised. So the other day, I got a question sent to me by a potential buyer up on eBay called SugarLove06. SugarLove wanted to know if I would sell her the entire Bath & Body Works Cherry Blossom bath set that include shampoo, bubble bath, hand lotion, and cherry blossom scented bath spritzer, which it smells wonderful. Now, each of these bottles usually retails for about $9.95 a piece. Actually, the lotion sells for $10.50. So you're talking for a 4-piece kit was easily $45. It's listed on eBay for $19.95. I just want to sell the damn thing. I know it's Christmas time and they probably have a lot of deals going on. So I got an email from her asking me if I would be willing to sell her the entire set at next to nothing for a price because her daughter is sick. Her 6-year-old daughter is sick and dying of cancer in the hospital.
Oh, boy.
So immediately, ding, 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 red flags go off in my head because I am not unempathetic. I am not unsympathetic. I am, however, very smart and I have excellent intuition. If I was a mother of a dying child, first of all, I wouldn't tell a total stranger on eBay that my daughter was sick and dying in the hospital. I really thought that was suspicious. So the first thing I did was look at her feedback, and I wanted to see what other kind of items that she's been buying and leaving feedback for others. And this woman, in 30 days, purchased 44 items, mostly handbags. The biggest amount of items she was purchasing was Bath and Body Works.
Yes, okay.
Lotions, sprays of all different kinds of scents. Okay, so I realized that this woman is buying things very cheaply, and a lot of it. She was also purchasing a lot of cosmetics. Now, if a woman has a dying child in the hospital, you're not buying all this stuff up. I posted this up on my wall, and I got a huge response to it. So I wrote her back, taking a chance that I might be wrong. I said to her, it appears by reviewing your prior purchases that your daughter is very smitten with a lot of Bath & Body Works products, not just the Cherry Blossom. And she wrote back this insanely profane, very angry, very, very grammatically incorrect email to me. How dare I? I don't have a soul. There are a lot of people that must have screwed me over in the past because I can't believe, it was just awful. So I had put this out at Facebook at this point. I posted her screen name. Well, we have a friend, a great friend, who is the best researcher on the planet. So he sends me an email within the hour. Not only, he did some more research on her purchases and acquisitions on eBay. Not only does this woman buy products very cheaply by using her spiel, she resells them.
Oh, boy.
So I had proof of it. I now had a body product that she had purchased for $1.99. She sold for $6.99 on eBay, the same product. So we caught her in the act, and I emailed her one more time, and I emailed her the links. This is the product you bought, and this is the product you sold. The exact links right to her store. And I got an even more grammatically horrific, profane, obscene email back from her.
Of course you did.
I just let her know that, we're not stupid. However, she has duped a lot of people this way. To make a long story short, a strange small world coincidence. A great friend of mine, Nikki, her mom is Pam in the chat room. Friend for years. Nikki texts me on my phone and says, "Wait a minute, where is this woman out of?" I said, "Indiana," just like you, Nikki. She said, "Oh my God, in the springtime, somebody else. This woman's name was Sugar Love. It was something Love, a screen name of something Love." Out of Indiana, actually contacted Nikki and asked her to sell her the Bath and Body Works gift set that Nikki had. Nikki felt so bad for her with her daughter's cancer story. She gave her the entire set for just the cost of shipping.
Oh, boy.
The same woman on eBay.
Wow.
So we completely caught this woman. I reported all of this woman's emails to eBay for profane language. They can actually suspend or revoke her account for talking to me like that. And Nikki did the same thing as well. She sent an email over to eBay letting them know that she had been duped in the spring. And this woman, this gets even better. She doesn't not only tell people that she has a daughter dying of cancer, she wants their products cheap. This woman claims on each and every one of her posts that the proceeds to each item go to animal charity. So this is a woman that has a dying child in the hospital. She's donating all of her money to charity. So, guys, Jeff, what did you think of this when you saw it?
Well, I understand that it happened to you, but it can certainly happen to a lot of people. And I'd like to just maybe move this along and ask a couple questions. First of all, for those that may not be as savvy on eBay as you've been part of eBay for a while. You're an experienced seller and buyer on eBay. You know how to report things and use their system properly. What can folks do to protect themselves? Because, buyer beware, there's a scam artist out there on every street corner when it comes to buying things online. And a lot of us do shop online now. For Christmas, especially in holidays, I find myself shopping more online every year. Mm-hmm. How can folks protect themselves from something like this happening to them?
You just have to have street smarts. Again, if somebody contacts you and asks you on eBay to sell something cheaper than it is, red flag. Absolute red flag. eBay is a place where people can go up there and get deals as it is. All of my items that I sell, I always price out in eBay, and I always underbid. I list my prices lower than what everybody else is selling their stuff for. So I knew that by her telling me she had a dying child in the hospital. My first impression was, why are you buying body spray and shampoo and lotion? I mean, yes, okay, you may want to give that to the child, but when I looked at her purchases and saw she was buying an awful lot of it, this doesn't happen often. A lot of times I will get an email from someone saying, "Hey, can you just do this a little cheaper and I'll buy it right now?" I ignore it. I get that a lot on Craigslist too. Everybody will buy something on eBay, so I'll just wait a little bit longer. But whether it's Craigslist or eBay, or even things up on Facebook, I do find Etsy.com to be an amazing website. It's not a website that a lot of people that are trying to do anything fraudulent use, but Etsy.com tends to be pretty reliable. But just be street smart.
Yep, good advice, and especially where more and more shopping, as I said, is done online. You can protect yourself by looking at their rating, right? Every eBay seller should have some sort of history.
Of course. Look at their rating. That's huge. When I make a decent purchase, even if it's something just a couple dollars, avoid purchasing from China because you will wait a long time for your product to come. And if there's something wrong with your product, it's very difficult to return. They might as well just argue back and forth with you because it's not worth it. Second of all, it's going to take, if you deal with a power seller that has a rating of 300,000, the chances of them responding to you quickly is very, very, very slim. So watch who you're dealing with. Look at their ratings. If they have a rating of 95%, 96%, and they have a lot of transactions, go beeline right for those negative transactions and find out why they're negative. A lot of eBayers will leave, people can be nasty. If they're slightly unhappy with something, instead of working it out with the seller, they'd rather just leave you negative feedback. I had to deal with that once in a while, but just know what you're getting, and look for positive feedback. I mean, there are a lot of sellers that just for a couple cents more will have a better rating, so it's worth it.
And, it's just like getting ratings on anything. There's always going to be one disgruntled somebody somewhere along the line. So you can't take everything verbatim. But as Shannon said, look at the ratings, look at the percentages of who you're buying from. And buyer beware for anybody that tries to grind you on your price or tries to get something for nothing. Probably a hidden story behind it. All right, guys, when we come back, your favorite segments of the program. Shannon Sylvie asks, who does that? And your Facebook fan photos of the week. Stick around, guys. You're watching Up for Discussion here on Pair Rock TV. This show is brought to you in part by Shan Cakes, fondant cakes, buttercream cakes, and cupcakes for any occasion. Yummy and delicious signature cupcakes only found at Shan Cakes, 31 Middle Street, Leominster, Mass. Visit them online at www.shancakes.com or call them today at 978-840-4343.
Hey everyone, this is Scott Rockenfield from Queensrÿche, and you're watching Terror Rock TV.
All right, so webcasting's been around for a while. When you think of webcasting, do you think of this? Well, if you do, check out this.
Yeah, you guys should have heard him during the break. I'm sorry, I just have to throw you on the bus here, but all of a sudden we hear a random, wow, I look hot.
This is Pararock TV, live dynamic television with an interactive chat. It's going to change the way you watch. Check out tomorrow's media today. PararockTV.com.
It's okay to cheat on your same old network with us. We won't tell.
And now back to Up for Discussion right here on Pararock TV.
Now when you're down and feeling bleak, oh baby, it's time for the Facebook fan photo of the week. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And as always, a big thank you to Ross McGinnis. These are your Facebook fan photos of the week. We gather them, we share them, and indeed we love them. And our first Facebook fan photo comes to us from Andrew in Oklahoma. And the subject, of course, is offshore drilling, Shannon. And I think offshore drilling is very important. And it's absolutely imperative to keep America on top and surviving in today's world. So there's a little offshore drilling for you folks in the chat room.
You know what? They could just easily be very well just be hanging out in the water. Jeff, it wouldn't be, I mean, you and I have done that in the water. Not drilling, but like just, what I'm trying to say is you've held me in the water as we go out into the deep end because I don't like to be alone.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that they're porking each other.
Well, you know, for the sake of this discussion,
that's funny.
Kind of looks like they are.
How embarrassing.
Our second Facebook fan photo comes to us from Darren in California, and apparently there is a store that Jesus has gone to because the aisle was originally water. But as you carefully look below, Jesus has made his appearance, ladies and gentlemen. Has turned all of the water into wine. The Jesus juice is of abundance in that store in California.
Jeff, do you remember that picture I took in the department store where it says casual shoes and nothing but huge platform, glittery, high-heeled stripper shoes?
I can't say I remember.
And the sign said casual shoes. You know what? We're going to make that our next Facebook fan photo of the week.
All right. We'll do that.
Couple weeks.
Somehow we get talking about shoes.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. Now, our third Facebook fan photo comes to us from Jason in Michigan. And I think that's a cute little thing going on there. It shows how the spirit of Christmas.
Oh, look at the little peppermint doogie.
A little peppermint going on there. Yeah, he's shitting mints. What do you think about that? You wonder how... You know, we always bitch that when we watch movies or television, you know, you never see anybody go into the bathroom. Well, Santa's elf's got to go.
Oh, my God.
And this one was actually caught on camera, and you can see the evidence of that right there.
That's because there was that DVD, How to Train Your Elf to Use the Toilet, just like there is How to Train Your Cat.
Poor guy's hanging on for dear. I hope they wash that toilet seat, man. It's going to be...
yeah, sanitize the ball.
Yeah, little tough to see there. And then hanging on for dear life. Poor little guy. All right, guys, those are your Facebook
That's funny.
fan photos of the week. Thank you for sharing them with us this week. And we will, of course, pick this segment up again if the world doesn't end in 2013. And now, your favorite segment of the program with our own Shannon Sylvia. Oh, yeah, when you hear that music, it can only mean one thing. It's that segment of the program when Shannon Sylvia asks, who does that? And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shannon Sylvia.
All right, guys. Best time in the show ever. Who does that? All right, first story comes out of the lovely wooded Bangor, Maine. Police in the Maine city of Bangor are warning people to be careful handling injured animals just after a woman recently tried to rescue a cat that she had hit with her vehicle. Turned out not to be a cat. Police say the female driver believed it was a cat and was seriously injured or dead. Picked up the cat and placed it in her van just after midnight on Wednesday morning. This was a recent story. But while she was driving, the cat became alert, and then she realized that was no cat. It was a bobcat.
Oh, Jesus.
She had actually taken pictures of the cat while she was holding it up. Somebody took the picture and posted it on Facebook, and somebody had written her saying that is not a cat. The thing was the size of a small tiger. The woman got out of the vehicle and the bobcat went under the van. Police used a catch pole to secure the animal until the game warden had arrived. The game warden said the animal's injuries were so severe that it did have to be euthanized.
Who does that?
Wow. Can you imagine? I'm rescuing this animal. You know, true story. I got to tell the story real quick, and you know exactly what story I'm going to say. Was headed up to Keene, New Hampshire one night following a car up in the dark on Route 12. And you know how you watch the tail lights in front of you? Well, all of a sudden, the tail lights in the car did one of these. And I said, oh, my, he just must have hit something. Well, the guy had pulled over, and I pulled over behind him. And he said, it looks like I hit a small bear, a small black bear. And he proceeded to get out of the car and start proceeding up the hill to go see if the bear was okay.
That's smart.
And
That's
I'm like,
smart.
What the hell are you doing, dude? Well,
really?
Unbeknownst to me, I figured, okay, if he wants to be that stupid, he probably's not going to go too far. He's probably just going to listen and go back in his car. Well, true story. About an hour later, I had gone up to Keene. I had dinner. On my way home, the car was still on the side of the road. No sign of the guy. I don't know what the hell happened to him.
Did you check the papers the next day?
I didn't.
Jesus.
I didn't check the paper. I figured he was as much of a dumbass. He deserved being.
You know, guys, don't chase a bear and don't get out of your car
True
if you
story.
hit an animal.
That's a true story.
That is just ridiculous.
We don't
Especially in
make
New
this
England. We got to be careful here.
All right, Ken.
Second story. This one's actually going to require a lot of flowers and candy to overcome if your name is Bodie Miller. We've all heard of him. If you do not know who Bodie Miller is, I'll remind you, he's an Olympic gold medalist skier. He's a little less talented on the golf course and with a golf club in his hand. On Wednesday, he and his wife, Morgan, a very beautiful blonde pro volleyball player, were out on the links. And to say it didn't go well is putting it very mildly. Bodie apparently clocked Morgan right in the face with a tee shot. The resulting injury was horrifying, but apparently not permanent, or at least not bad enough to keep Morgan from tweeting out a picture of herself.
All right,
I am warning you guys, this is slightly graphic.
Here it comes.
Quite slightly graphic and shocking.
There it is.
So we see pretty Morgan before and not so pretty Morgan after.
That is the same lady, ladies and gentlemen.
I am not feeling so hot, Morgan tweeted on her Twitter page. Line drive to the face today with a golf ball for my darling husband whom I still love. She followed that up on Thursday morning with a more hopeful message. Feeling better today. Still can't see out of the left eye, but I'm getting some feeling back in my face. Wow. She also threw a shout out to sunglasses maker Canon by absorbing a 160 mile per hour line drive. I only got 50 plus stitches instead of losing my eye.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the Millers are probably not going to be making a Christmas card out of that one.
Who does that?
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, once again, there's the before.
Yeah.
And there's the after.
Ouch.
Yeah. Cut me, Mick.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That is so shocking. And you know what, though? God bless her for posting that, because that's just no shame. That's basically, this is what happened to me, and this is what can happen to you, guys.
And that's what would have happened to the lady with the bobcat, as pointed out by Nathan, if she would have gotten any closer to that damn thing.
I probably would have done the same damn thing.
Yeah. All right, kid.
All right, third story comes out of Texas. This one's a little bit disturbing. A Texas man told authorities he carved a pentagram into the back of his 6-year-old son on December 12th because it is a holiday in reference to the numerical date of 12/12/12, police said. Brent Troy Bartell, only 39 years old, of Richland Hills, is now in jail on a $500,000 bond, charged with aggravated assault of a family member. Police officers responded to an emergency dispatch phone call shortly after midnight from a man who said, "I shed some innocent blood," according to an audio recording of the emergency 911 call released by police. When questioned by the dispatcher, the man said, "I inscribed a pentagram on my son." Speaking of mental illness, when the dispatcher asked why, the man responded, "Because it is a holy day," according to the recording that was caught, and then the man hung up. Moments later, police received a call from the boy's mother at a neighbor's house, said that Officer Sheena Parsons, she is the police spokeswoman, the mother could be heard in that recording crying and begging for help. Police arrived at the Bartell home and found the boy shirtless and shivering, now sporting a large pentagram carved on his back. Police officers also found a box cutter at the house, which is believed to have been used in the attack. Boy was taken to a Fort Worth, Texas hospital for treatment. His injuries are not life-threatening. Parsons said police and child protective services are now investigating the attack.
Wow.
Who does that?
What is the point of that? And did you know there was this big religious cult thing about 12/12/12?
No, and the only thing that I want to know for sure is why the hell didn't the guy just carve his own goddamn forehead?
Yeah.
I mean, why do that to an innocent kid?
That's just really bizarre.
That's stupid. That's just really stupid.
And he just had no qualms about calling 911 and telling them about it. It's very bizarre. And I really, really, really hope to God they can do plastic surgery on this boy, because he has to sport that for the rest of his life. Yep. And he is going to get teased. He's just a little boy. And, that's going to be with him. And he's going to have to explain that to people for a long time. So.
Yep. And in my mind, there is no punishment too great for that scumbag. I hope he is thrown in jail. I hope he is made an example out of. And especially with the events of this week, protecting the children should be the focus of everybody. And again, this scumbag should be thrown away, and the key should be tossed, and let whatever happened to him happen, because I have no sympathy for him whatsoever. Shannon, we are wrapping up 2012, kid. It has been a wonderful year for us.
Yeah.
Some good, some bad, some indifferent.
A lot of deaths.
We keep rolling it on. We keep rolling on. What was your favorite moment, real quick, of 2012, if you had to pick one?
Oh God, I've had many, Jeff. I think a big one was winning the awards recently for my bakery. I've worked so hard all year.
You did too.
And
so proud.
that was a pretty big moment for me. But there's been many. I need a few minutes to think about it. But
Okay.
How about you?
Well, we don't have a few minutes, but
I know.
I just think my best moment of 2012, honestly, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, was watching you. I mean, in a down economy, where people are struggling to put food on the table, lots of people are losing their jobs. People are really having a hard time. Here you are. You open a bakery, you open a brand new business. It's booming, it's excelling. You're winning awards. And by the way, you wrote a book on top of everything else you do. You kept your business going now for 11 years. Is it 11 years or 12 years? 11 years, right?
Shancakes is going on 13.
No. I'm talking about By Design.
I'm sorry, By Design is going on 13.
Okay, so it's been 12 years going on 13.
Yeah.
So you're a successful web designer, 13 years in business, making it there. opens a second business, which is booming. And by the way, you're only one person. I don't know how you've cloned yourself to this
I have
degree,
multiple
but
personalities, my
yeah,
love.
they keep telling you what to do, but I couldn't be more and more proud of you, and I couldn't
you,
be more
honey.
and more proud of everybody here at
Hey, and
Pararock
kudos
TV.
to you. I mean, you're the one that fuels Pararock. I may have designed the page, but it wouldn't. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you today and all your knowledge and research on how to run the software and the cameras and putting together the show and how much work goes into it. So,
Well, thank you, my
hats
dear.
off to Jeff.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here tonight and for 2012. Want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining us here. And if you do like us, tell your friends, because we're going to be back in 2013. We're not going to put a lot of stock in that end of the world stuff. We're going to make plans.
We'll be all
We're going to
right.
make plans, you and me. We're going to be back in 2013. We're going to do this bigger, better than ever before, with a whole bunch of our friends and a whole bunch of fun.
And you
So,
guys have an amazing Christmas, amazing Hanukkah,
Indeed.
amazing holiday, amazing time with your loved ones and friends. Please drink responsibly and just enjoy yourselves.
Absolutely. Happy holidays to everyone. And coming up next here is the Paranormal Revolution with our buddies Eric Singleton and Sean Litton. On behalf of myself, my most lovely co-host Shannon Sylvia, and all of us here at the network, Pararock TV wishes you happy holidays. We'll see you next year in 2013. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Brother whiskey and sister nicotine. I must admit you got your claws in me.
This is Pararock TV.